Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to us by one of our sister, and I had to ask someone to give us a translation, and it reads like this. Hello, how are you? Please, my brother, please post my story as anonymous. I did not know that there is a danger of burying your husband alone without any of his relatives being present. But before you judge me, I want you to listen to my story, where I had come from with this man and what made me to make that decision to bury him alone with my brothers, with my family as well. It was a private burial ceremony. Brother Nashim, I have watched your videos for a very long time. Ever since I started watching your videos, I always said, at least my story, it is not that bad. But the truth is, some stories that you read, maybe they are even better than my own story. And it has been a long time, me wanting to tell you what I am going through, hoping that there are people that will give me a solution to my problems. I need help. I am tired of the work that I am doing. It is not an easy thing each and every time to sleep with a dead person. When people who do not know me, when they see me, my neighbors, they see an independent woman who is in the logistic business, they think that I'm just lucky, but they don't know where I am coming from. They don't know the things that I have to do. The day when I buried my husband, on that very same day, I am supposed to sleep with a dead person. Like this has to be done each and every year. I am supposed to be doing this literally for the rest of my life. Me and my husband, we met like any other poor people. We were just trying to survive, the both of us. We met at a Pakistan warehouse in Durban, and we used to work together, packing and packaging those cardboard boxes. These Pakistans, they made spices, sweets, as well as snacks, biscuits, chips, and he was a truck driver delivering the snacks. We were working like your low salary that we used to earn. I worked inside packing and checking the stock. We were both working, and a lot of us worked there at that Pakistan warehouse. He was a nice man, always respectful. He was dating another Zulu woman who did not appreciate him for what he used to tell me, the things that he did. I started falling in love with him, especially when he would do something so nice to me. This made him to be so attractive towards me. He did not promise me heaven on earth, but he would give me part of his salary, and he proposed love to me, and I did not even know that I was now in love with him. It just happened. Within months, I realized that I was pregnant. And when I told him that I was pregnant, he was so excited. There was some truth about him that I did not even know, for he was using a fake Mozambican passport. I was not even sure that it was possible for someone to use a fake passport altogether. That night, he sat with me down and he told me the truth about his life. He told me that the way that he had entered South Africa and coming to Durban to look for work, he came through Mozambique. He was assisted by other people that made fake passports, and he was using a Mozambican passport, and he had some charms that he always kept with him. Whenever you would see police, he would take this other charm that he showed to me. It was like a little shiny stone that looked more like gold, and he would place it underneath his tongue. Even if it was a big operation, 100 police mixed with traffic department as well as home affairs, all of them, they will be having a confusion, and he will pass even though he had a fake passport. He told me this. One day I asked for him to take me with him when we wanted to go and deliver to another province. We were not even stopped by the police. Even the place where there will be police stopping cars at a toll gate, he will just open his wallet and then he will put it underneath his tongue, and then the police will just say pass, even to shout at him saying, why are you moving slow? You are supposed to pass fast, and they would want to stop even the truck that will be behind him. He showed me the passport. It was indeed fake. He told me that he did it because he needed work in South Africa, and he said that it was for survival, nothing sinister. He said that he wanted to marry me properly, legally, but for that to happen, he needed to go to Malawi to fix his papers. I believed him. Anyway, what choice did I have? Because I was already carrying his child. We already had the habit of mixing our salaries together. So we worked for 2 months, and after he had paid rentals and food for me and transport money, he then left South Africa and he went to Mozambique. When he went to Mozambique, my brother, he spent a little bit of time. I was even worried that this man, he is no longer coming back, and the pregnancy that I had loved the dead. I would cry at night wishing that he was with me in my bed. Whilst he was in Malawi, we spoke each and every day, and he made sure that I did not even suspect that he was sleeping with another woman. What I did not know was that there was another woman sometimes that would speak with me through WhatsApp, and I did not even know. Whilst he was fixing his passport, he was also busy fixing this woman. I lost my pregnancy whilst he was there. This woman, she was using Muti on me. I lost my pregnancy, miscarriage number 1. I cried alone here in South Africa whilst he was busy with his girlfriend. When he returned back, he held me whilst I cried. He told me that we would try again. He proposed quietly, not big because we were not rich. We got married at Home Affairs. It was a legal thing, recognized. We applied for a temporary residence as the spouse of a South African woman. That paper gave me comfort. I thought that this thing that I had done, helping him in life, he was going to be a loyal husband. What gave me the strength to do this? It was because I had a cousin sister of mine who was married to a Zimbabwean man. They ended up leaving South Africa. They are now in Europe. The life that they are living, multi-millionaires. This man, he was broke. He was working as a gardener, and she was also working as a maid, and they got married. The man was very intelligent. The moment that he got his papers, the next thing that we knew, he was working in the government. The next thing, he had applied for an international company. We thought that he was going to dump my cousin, but we were surprised when we accompanied them to the airport and they left South Africa. They regularly came back. So this was what made me to think that this Malawian man, for I had heard that people from Malawi, they are soft, they are kind-hearted, they will never do you no harm in love. That was why I thought that if I help him with papers, he will be loyal to me. The truth came slowly and it was painful. There was a message that came in late one night. I made a screenshot, for it was not in English, but it was in his language. I then saved that screenshot. At work, I asked another man who was from Malawi what this message meant, but I did not tell him that this message, it had been sent to my husband, for I was afraid that he won't tell me the truth. He hesitated to tell me. Then he said, oh, it seems as if this is a man who is here in South Africa, and the mother is saying that congratulations, your kids, they are growing really big. You are supposed to send more money since you have twin boys. I nearly collapsed, but I gathered my energy, went to the bathroom, then I started crying. Whilst my womb was busy rejecting life, another woman had carried his blood twice. I confronted him. He did not deny it. He cried, he begged for my forgiveness, and he said that it was before we were properly married. He said that he had been pressured by his parents to sleep with that Malawian woman until she was pregnant. That was why he had stayed so long in Malawi. I stayed. Looking back, I don't know whether it was love or if it was fear, for he was having a great job. Since he had papers, our Pakistani boss was afraid that he was going to get hired by another company. So I stayed with him. After that, we lived together. It was hurtful to hear him speaking with that girlfriend from Malawi who was very rude. I miscarried again and again and again. That was when he came back home and he told me that he had gotten a job offer. There was this other white man who had just bought some Volvo trucks, those Globetrotters. That was the truck that he was now going to be driving, and it was going to be a long distance route to Mozambique. I said, no, please, I don't want you to do this, because in my mind, I immediately saw that Mozambique and Malawi, they were just nearby. I was scared that if he does this, he was going to kill our marriage. So he refused, and he showed me the money that he was going to be earning. I said, it's fine. We started working and I stopped working. I was now a housewife. His boss was a German man. He was very wealthy. He was someone that was very nice to me and my husband. I was even using the vehicle that once belonged to his wife, because my husband was such a great worker and hardworking man. They lived in a rich Durban suburban area, and it was so nice. And we also managed to get out of the location where we had been staying, because the salary was really good that my husband was earning. But unfortunately, one night, the boss was almost hijacked in his Porsche. He was sitting inside his Porsche in his driveway. That fear, I think, made him to make a quick decision. Him and his wife, they picked up and left South Africa for Germany. Before he left, he sold the truck to my husband, and that was the deal that changed everything. This truck that we bought it quite cheap, and he said that some of the money that was remaining behind, he gave us 6 months to pay up the money, and we were supposed to give it to this other white man whom he knew very well. And we started to make a lot of money, because the route that my husband was already working on, Mozambique, South Africa, it gave him a lot of money. We bought a house in Durban, but the house was in my name in a good area. And all of a sudden, people were now calling me madam. And deep down, I was afraid that my husband, he was going to run away from me. So I made sure that all the assets that we had, including the truck, it was in my name. 2 years later, my husband, he got sick, and it was kidneys. Even though we had money, we tried to go for dialysis, but he kept on getting weak, weight loss, and it was very terrible. And he had already trained my younger brother to drive the trucks with him. He showed me how to source loads, how to speak with clients, how to read contracts, and how to draft up contracts. I thought that I was going to do everything that he had told me to do. One day he sat me with me down and he said, I have prepared you so that my company won't fail after I would have died. Promise me one thing. You are going to take care of my kids, my 2 boys. I promised him that I was going to do that. But this Malawian woman, when she came to South Africa, she was also working in South Africa. She was someone that was nosy. She did not respect me. She would come to my house, walk around my house cleaning. Even if I was not around, she would enter in each and every room, and I hated her, but I respected my husband quite a lot. This woman, she said that after my husband had passed away, she wanted the body to go home. I snapped and I called her names I am ashamed of. I reminded him that she was nothing legally. I told her that my husband was South African now. By then, I was 5 months pregnant. I refused to release the body. I buried my husband with my relatives in our village. That is what I did, because I did not want to lose anything that belonged to me and my husband to this prostitute of a woman. I never saw him after that. I gave birth to a bouncing baby boy. I went to work like a possessed woman, trucks, routes, contracts. 9 years later, I have 3 Volvo trucks running an SAB contract. We live very well, me and my family, but I can't sleep at night. I hear footsteps of my husband. He will be walking around. Sometimes I can see him walking in the air. And as for my son, we have to lock the doors. Right now, if I take pictures of his room, we have double burglar bars inside and outside, because what he used to do is that he would cut them and he would exit his room, and I would hear the alarm sounding, him running away. And when we would catch him, I would ask my son, where do you want to go to? He will be like, I want to go to Malawi. I want to go to Malawi. And it will be so violent, so much that it will be so scary. And I am always having dreams where I will be having sexual intercourse with my husband. This happens too many times. I once dated a man. This man, he was a nice guy, but he had an accident. Just before he had an accident, he had said to me, maybe we should stop seeing each other. I asked him why he wanted us to stop seeing each other. He told me that he once had a dream, and this dream that he had, he saw my husband who was busy fighting with him, and my husband was like, how dare you sleep with my wife? How dare you eat my money? Because I had been assisting him in the small business that he was running. So this was the dream that he was having. But I wanted him, really, I wanted us to get married one day, but he passed away in a terrible road accident. Brother Nashi, I buried my husband alone, even though his relatives, he had called me several times and they had said, woman, we just want what belonged to our husband. You can keep the house, give us the truck. I said, these people, they are mad. We have not yet fully paid this house. How can they say that they want the truck? If at least we had 2 trucks, it was better. We would split and we would give them one. But my brother refused and said, I am the one that have been working hard to make sure that this truck keeps running ever since my brother-in-law started to get so sick, and they are not going to benefit anything. He is South African, he's going to be buried here in South Africa, and that was what we decided to do. And I thought that since I was legally married to him, I was supposed to be the one to determine where his body was supposed to be buried. If it was you who was married to a foreigner, are you not supposed to keep his body? If you were legally married to that foreigner, would you have released the body or fought for your own child like the way that I did? I could not risk losing the truck because my money was also there that was used when we bought this truck. I was working like hell, also managing a small business that he had started for me. And these guys from Malawi, they wanted me to give them the truck and I keep the house. How was I going to generate income to pay for the bond of the house? I sat down with my brother and I saw that I was going to return back to poverty if I was going to let these people do whatever that they wanted with me. Yo, dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our DM sister. Let us try to speak with our sister in the comment section. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. She is asking if there is anyone that might assist her. Let us speak with him in the comment section.